They say you never know what you might find, but these discoveries take that to a whole new level. Get ready for the most unusual findings that will make you look at abandoned places, forests, and even your own backyard completely differently. The Kala Kala wasn't just a ferry, it was the world's first streamlined ferry, a silver Art Deco masterpiece from the 1930s. But now it is sitting out its days in Tacoma, where its distinctive rounded hull is rusting away. Archaeologists near the Dead Sea stumbled upon a real-life loot drop. 4 1,900-year-old Roman swords hidden in a cave. These perfectly preserved 60 to 65 centimeter blades were found still tucked inside their original wooden scabbards. These pilots captured the U.S. Seawolf-class submarine surfacing through 0.5 meters of Arctic ice. But despite visible damage to its antenna from the breakthrough, the nuclear-powered vessel showed no signs of abandonment or distress. Picture this: dozens of American muscle car legends from the 1960s and 70s gathering dust inside an abandoned factory. This forgotten collection includes rare Plymouth GTXs, Pontiac GTOs, and pristine Dodge Challengers with powerful V8 engines still intact, potentially worth millions, but left to rust, waiting for resurrection. In a remote bombing range, an explorer spotted a metal Guardian. This tank rises 3 meters high, where shells that destroyed it are lying from long-forgotten training exercises. Imagine diving into crystal-clear waters only to find gravestones standing upright beneath you. South Carolina's Lake Jocassee conceals an entire cemetery submerged when the valley was deliberately flooded in the 1970s. Its tombstones standing eerily at 40 meters deep, marking final resting places now guarded by waters rather than mourning visitors. Ever thought smashing your walls for cash? A homeowner renovating their house discovered a secret stash of coins hidden in the insulation, including rarities potentially worth a life-changing $40,000. A 1947 Veronique rocket launcher, perches abandoned on a French Normandy peak since 1990. This 10-meter-tall World War II-era artifact, once aimed at a nuclear plant, stands empty. Thankfully. Coastal erosion exposed a 1959 Cold War nuclear monitoring bunker at East Yorkshire, UK, teetering on collapsing cliffs. This Royal Observer Corps post, once hidden underground, now faces immediate destruction by the sea. Explorers stumbled upon a French military tank hidden in an abandoned plastic factory. The unexpected armored relic, likely from World War II, adds intrigue to the site's forgotten history in America. A woman moving into a 1950s home discovered a secret metal safe hidden beneath a false fireplace panel. Inside wasn't gold, but a fascinating time capsule, including a 150-year-old newspaper and rare coins. How about a 20-meter World War II transport plane on the Mediterranean seabed? This sunken Douglas C-47 Dakota with 29-meter wingspan and other planes, creating a popular dive site. Some were intentionally sunk as artificial reefs. Others represent genuine wartime tragedies, where each one tells a different story. These professional explorers navigated a damp 1800s Nevada silver mine featuring a 152-meter vertical shaft with multiple stations, and found a bunch of century-old equipment. From Gilded Age luxury yacht to World War I patrol boat to World War II naval vessel, the USS Sachem had seen it all since 1902. Now measuring 34 meters long, this historic ghost ship slowly rots into Ohio's Muskingum River, its wooden hull dissolving into the water after serving through 2 world wars and countless identity changes. What about finding an abandoned NATO radar base in Greece, which features 20-meter satellite dishes among the mountain ruins? This Cold War site monitored Soviet activities until the 1990s. In a Miami marina, these once luxurious yachts aren't going anywhere. They've been abandoned, half-sunken and covered with seaweed. They now rest not in an elite dock, but in a boat graveyard. On the Albania-Greece border exists something from nightmares, the world's largest spider web colony housing over 110,000 spiders. This massive commercial web stretches an astounding 106 square meters, creating a white shroud blanketing everything in its path. Ancient Egypt rises from the Mediterranean seabed as archaeologists recover 2,000-year-old statues from the sunken city of Canopus off Alexandria. Their limestone features eerily preserved after 2 millennia of underwater slumber. This bizarre aircraft is the VVA-14, a Soviet submarine hunter that could fly and float. Only 2 were built, and this wingless wreck looks like a crashed spaceship from a movie. Divers recovered 2 submerged passenger cars from the Warnau River in Germany, resting upside down at 7 meters deep. Now these mysterious vehicles await forensic analysis to uncover their fate. The Bagger 1473 bucket wheel excavator wasn't just big, it was a 100-meter mechanical monster that devoured Earth from 1965 to 2002. Now it stands abandoned in East Germany and looks like a sleeping robot. Check out a 1959 Cadillac DeVille with chrome dulled by decades rot deep in forest overgrowth. How this classic luxury sedan ended up in woodland remains completely unexplained. Shadows of World War II still haunt the Norwegian coastline, staring out at the North Sea, where explorers discovered remarkably intact 10-centimeter Bofors artillery bases scattered along the Atlantic Wall. These 1918 marked cannons were likely repurposed by German forces, with their massive mounting rings still bolted into the concrete. These are the skeletal remains of Bethlehem Steel, the massive plant that built the Golden Gate Bridge. This Rust Belt icon, producing 23 million tons annually with preserved blast furnaces, symbolizes America's industrial decline. In a surreal scene, explorers found a ship graveyard stranded in a snowy desert. And as you can see, Arctic ice doesn't joke. It simply traps and holds. What are the odds of finding an aircraft and an ambulance sitting side by side deep in the woods? Back in 2012, it used to belong to an airline company that went bankrupt and scrapped the plane. Divers in the depths of Lake Baikal found a car resting on the lake bed. Likely falling through the ice during winter, it's now a permanent exhibit in the world's deepest lake. Prepare to be amazed as salvage crews lifted the massive stern section of cargo vessel Cabrera from 34 meters underwater off Greece, using a specialized 2,400-ton crane after the ship broke apart and sank. While hiking off-trail, this explorer found the whole Caterpillar excavator. Was it stolen? Who knows, cause there was no chance that any construction work was being done here. What kind of person collects NASCAR cars and hundreds of energy drink cans in an abandoned basement? This bizarre combination discovered underground tells a strange story about the previous occupants' unusual lifestyle. In Kiev, a massive concrete flying saucer sits filled with the rusting carcasses of old city buses. This is Bus Depot number 7, a Soviet architectural marvel with a roof spanning 160 meters. Now it serves as a giant circular graveyard for the machines that once kept the city moving. Ripping open walls during renovation shouldn't lead to riches, but one renter hit the jackpot when thousands of dollars tumbled out of cash, stashed by someone who never returned to claim their hidden fortune. Where do ferries go to die? BC Ferries' ship graveyard holds the answer, where these once bustling passenger ships now rustling away at their final berth. Next, enthusiasts ventured into abandoned Six Flags New Orleans, devastated by Hurricane Katrina in 2005. Overgrown roller coasters and decaying rides sprawl across 57 hectares, creating a haunting post-apocalyptic playground. Is it a fallen UFO or a secret weapon? Actually, this massive 30-meter reflector is a ghost of a failed 2008 Spanish solar plant now left to rust in the desert sun. Here's a lucky guy who uncovered a legendary Ford Falcon wagon rotting under an old canopy. This 4.8-meter classic remains a dusty but automotive treasure. These are diesel locomotives and carriages from Kent and East Sussex Railway, which rot in UK woodlands. Their tracks disappear under the undergrowth, just like the rural railway service itself. This AH-64 Apache, measuring 18 meters, fired the Gulf War's opening shots before ending up abandoned in Fort Training Grounds, now preserved for visitors. Prince Charles once commanded HMS Brongington. Now this 34-meter minesweeper from 1954 lies half-sunk in Birkenhead waters since 2016, slowly breaking apart. Divers pulled a colossal pharaoh statue from the lost city of Ponis Heraklion. After 1,200 years underwater, this ancient giant was finally moved to the Grand Egypt Museum. After the next historical discovery, cranes pulled the former Chilean president's helicopter from Lago Ranco's depths after the crash during a flight over southern Chile. Just take a look how many Soviet-era T-72 tanks scatter across Ukrainian fields in various states of destruction. Some blown apart, others simply left to rust when they stopped rolling. There, a whole F-16 decays in urban Belgium with an intact cockpit still visible beneath camouflage paint, likely abandoned when nearby military training grounds closed. Miners in Alaska struck a prehistoric jackpot when a flood revealed a complete woolly mammoth skeleton. These massive 30,000-year-old tusks and bones were discovered sitting right on top of a gold mine. It took 4 people just to carry the heavy remains of this Ice Age giant. Next finding is a discovery of 1950s aircraft wreckage clinging to a remote mountain slope where downdrafts caused the crash. 10 people somehow survived the impact in frozen hell. Meet the Foxtrot class U-475 Black Widow, a submarine measuring 92 meters, which sits deteriorating on the UK's River Medway. Decommissioned in 1993, and still awaiting museum restoration. Thailand's Galaxy cruise ship, repurposed as Grand Laguna Hotel, now stands abandoned as a 100-meter overgrown ghost vessel where nobody checks in anymore. Maritime circular water tower in Wales looks exactly like a landed UFO. This concrete structure's flying saucer shape makes it the strangest abandoned building around. How about a yacht forgotten in harbor? Its hull's so encrusted with oysters and barnacles that marine life has completely taken over this small sailing vessel. In the ghost town of British Columbia, a massive Fairbanks Morse compressor from 1932 sits abandoned. This 3-meter, 4-cylinder beast once powered silver mining operations. Lucky explorers unearthed heavy safes containing a massive stash of cash. Now the mystery remains. Is this a hidden fortune or something far more illegal? Declassified KGB footage from 1969 allegedly shows Soviet soldiers recovering a crashed flying saucer with alien bodies at the site, 'cause skeptics call it an elaborate hoax. This discovered F-106A Delta Dart fighter jet, measuring 21 meters, already rides down the highway, heading to a Los Angeles museum for restoration. Rusted Sherman tanks measuring 9 meters still lie where they fell on Normandy's beach during D-Day in 1944. Bullet holes pierce armor, tracks are missing, turrets blown apart. These steel hulks never made it off the sand. Plus, scavengers stripped what they could, leaving behind battle-scarred relics that tell stories better than any history book. Accidentally in the desert, explorers discovered a Lockheed airliner spanning 38 meters, slowly baking under endless sun, right where it crashed in 2018. This 80-year-old Japanese World War II artillery encampments with concrete bunkers and gun mounts for 120mm weapons hide in Guam's jungle, completely unrecognizable. Deep in a Pennsylvania coal mine, adventurers found a buried train of old minecarts measuring almost 1 meter wide, with one still stuck on muddy tracks underground. Inside Detroit's abandoned Cadillac stamping plant, thousands of vintage 1989 to 1991 baseball and hockey trading cards fill forgotten boxes amid rusting machinery. This former auto parts facility closed decades ago, leaving an unexpected hoard from an overproduced collectibles era. Though limited in value, the discovery proves urban exploration's strangest surprises hide where you least suspect them. Treasure hunters at Trone's World on France's Somme battlefield unearthed several dozen live World War I grenades. These 1916 10-centimeter munitions can remain deadly over a century later. A hiker found this life-size statue sitting deep in the forest. Or how it ended up here. Tell us in the comments! Using social media clues and satellite imagery, this explorer tracked down a rare abandoned Sob sonnet buried deep in New Hampshire's woods, where she found the vehicle half swallowed by moss and dirt on a remote logging road. Originally orange, then repainted blue and purple, the decades-old car remarkably retains its original radio intact. After a violent cyclone, this nameless ghost ship snapped its anchors and was hurled onto the rocks, where explorers accidentally found this victim of nature's fury. Now let's peek inside an abandoned car dealership that still holds dusty Ladas and Kias, exactly where salespeople left them when the business closed. Beachcombers in New Jersey discovered a message in a bottle that could be the world's oldest. Thrown overboard in 1876, this 150-year-old note survived over a century at sea. Construction workers renovating a glass center struck a hidden safe containing an old bottle with some liquid. Nobody knows why previous owners desperately wanted to keep it locked away. The ghost ship MV Alta drifted for 2 years before slamming into the Irish coast. Now this 1970s merchant vessel sits snapped and rotting on the rocks. Explorers stumbled upon an aviation graveyard deep in the woods, where a RCAF Beech 18 Expeditor, Boeing C-97 Stratofighter, and B-36 Peacemaker nose section were abandoned among the trees. Deep in Florida's Everglades, explorers found NASA's abandoned Aerojet facility with the largest solid-fuel rocket motor ever built, left behind in 1969 when the project was canceled. During home renovation, these people discovered a sealed package hidden in the 1960s ceiling. It contained legal documents, photos, and military communications tied to the U.S. Air Force Korea deployment case. Dozens of weathered dolls hang from tree branches in a remote forest. This eerie find sparks theories ranging from twisted art projects to disturbing rituals nobody wants to explain. Archaeologists digging in central France found a German World War II bunker 10 meters underground with artifacts from 1944's Normandy battles perfectly preserved beneath the city. After a violent storm, shipping containers from a burning freighter split open on Vancouver Island. Beaches were suddenly littered with refrigerators, toys, and running shoes. An explorer found derelict amusement rides, including rusted carousels, deep in overgrown woods. This forgotten park was abandoned years ago where it shouldn't exist. Spanning 5 hectares, an abandoned train depot holds decaying locomotives and cars slowly consumed by vegetation. Trains that will never run again, gathering rust. Massive concrete structures stretching 2 kilometers still line Normandy's coast. That's World War II's Mulberry artificial harbors that enabled D-Day's Allied invasion logistics in 1944. A TikToker found strange alien-looking ruins emerging from the sand at low tide. These unusual circular formations standing out against the natural surroundings like something from another world. This forgotten port serves as a graveyard for dozens of rusted ships up to 50 meters long. Abandoned since industrial decline turned this maritime hub into a nautical wasteland. This next person discovered an old gold dredge standing with massive bucket rusts in the Alaskan wilderness. It was an early 1900s mining behemoth from Klondike boom times. This discovery is like a piece of space technology that has fallen into nature. A lone giant satellite dish, now only listening to the forest. What looked like an empty abandoned hall actually hid dozens of derelict 1970s locomotives. These rusting engines will never pull trains again. It was the last find for the day. Don't forget to leave a comment and tell us which findings impressed you the most. And don't forget to press the like and subscribe buttons. See you in the next videos. Bye!